M27 might be an affair partner of F34. I am not the OOP. OOP is you, throw RAINAP. M27 might be an affair partner of F34. Originally posted to r. Relationship advice. Trigger warning. Talk of infidelity and homophobia. Less than. Original post February 23, 2023. For my job I travel between 3 different states about every week or so. I will be at one job site for a week, then the next for a week, and so on. Things changes as needed. Date of travel, location and duration of the job. I don't have kids or in a serious relationship. I met this woman G over a year ago. She was at a bar that some of my coworkers like to go after shift. I went to get around for the group and she was also getting a drink. We began talking. I introduced myself and she herself. Ended up talking most of the night, but we left it at the bar. We talked a few more times over the course of a month. Also at said bar or local place. She said she was divorced and not looking for anything. That turned into her just wanting nothing serious and something fun and casual. Due to the nature of my job with traveling and the unpredictability of my schedule, one agreed. We exchanged numbers and that was that. We usually would hook up about 4 to 8 times a month. Over the course of the past year, most of the time we would be at the hotel I was put up in. She said she lived far and I was closer, safer option. I never questioned her because she was always available. Spent the night, weekends, and was not glued to her phone. I really didn't have any reason to question her. It was fun and we had a good connection. That was until last night. We were hanging out when I needed to get some things from the store and she came with me. We were doing some shopping, having a good time, joking, flirting, and laughing. As we were going down an aisle we heard someone yell, "Gee, is that you?" G's demeanor changed. Red flag number 1. Future RF equals red flag. It turns out that person was an old work friend of G's. They talked a little bit when this friend asked who I was. I politely introduced myself. When the lady asked how we knew each other, G quickly said, "He's an old friend from town she grew up in." Quote, RF number 2. Then the lady asked G, "What is David up to?" Quote, another awkward shift. RF number 3. And G said something about he is doing fine, busy with work, but she clearly did not want to talk about it. David is her ex-husband? They finished the conversation soon after and I went back to shopping. After we get out of the store I asked her what that was all about. She said it was nothing and wants to put it behind her. RF number 4. She was distant the whole way back to the hotel. I could tell her mind was on something miles, kilometers away. RF number 5. I asked if she was okay and she said yes, just fine. Then she cut the night short, making a terrible excuse, and left. RF-6. She was originally supposed to see me off this morning. Up to this point it didn't occur to me that she might have lied about being divorced. I tried to look her up on the Book of Face. I could not find her on it under the name I knew. RF number 6. There was a private account that might have been her but a different last name. I couldn't investigate further due to account setting. I'm now on my way to a different job site and won't be back for probably 15 days. She did not respond to my text asking if she was all right or what was going on. The situation is odd and feels off. Not sure what to do. P.S. I do get tested regularly and have always been clean. Relevant comments from OOP. We always met up in the town or somewhere close to it. She said that she never changed her name during the marriage or divorce. Something to do with her dad being very strict on the importance of a last name. Looking back, there are a bunch of red flags I never looked into or didn't care in the moment. My mind was usually on other pressing matters. XXX. She seemed shocked that the lady called out. Still, She sent me a message that read, "I'm sorry," and that was it. What gets me is I don't believe there were multiple affair partners. Maybe a husband. Dave? It was the first time where I didn't try to make a move to flirt. It happened, in my opinion, naturally. The conversation wasn't forced. Never any awkward moments. As I said, she wasn't on her phone much or taking calls while leaving the room. Never hid her phone. She was always available. If she had multiple partners, I feel like she wouldn't be comfortable with all of that. I'm still confused and hurt. I will see if you are right when I go back. See if she disappears. Update April 6, 2023. Hello all. Thanks for the few comments, you did help me. As a recap, I travel a lot between 3 facilities in different states for work on a somewhat regular basis. Over a year ago, I met Gina. We were basically FWB with hints of a bit more. Last time we were together, we were at a grocery store, and a former coworker called her out and asked how David was. And I had no idea who she was talking about. Gina got weird and stopped talking to me while showing multiple red flags. I couldn't look her up for some reason on social media. Then basically ghosted me. I just traveled back there, and she was actually at our normal meeting place, bar. I was surprised to actually see her again. I noticed she was talking to a guy. When she noticed me, she gave a smile for like half a second, and she got a worried look on her face. She came over to me and apologized again and wanted to talk. Long conversation short, she is married to David. She did lie about her last name and blocked me on social media. She said it was because she was surprised how she felt about me and didn't want to hurt me. She came clean about everything. Turns out she and David have been married for 10 years. But Gina is what people call a beard. She is straight, and her husband is 110% not. Their parents are both super religious and traditional. They live together but have separate lives and relationships. The marriage is basically a cover and only on paper. David is actually a really cool guy and kept complimenting me and made the comment, "I see why you like him so much. I would have taken him home with me as well." I don't know how to take that. I'm not sure what the relationship is going to be like moving forward. But thanks for everything. TLDR. I thought my FWB was cheating on her husband with me. She was. But not really. Their marriage is to cover her husband's sexual orientation. ETA. The person she was talking to at the bar was David. The real David. After Gina and I talked, he came over, and we all talked for a few hours. He is a nice guy. Also, I do get tested regularly. Relevant comments on why she married her husband knowing he was gay. As stated in other comments, his family is not from our country originally. They are extremely religious, traditional, racist, homophobic people. If he came out, most likely, his life would be in danger. On his future with Gina, I'm not sure. Still thinking about it and need to talk to her more about the future. On why he was blocked on social media. They were hiding the fact that she was married. She blocked me right after the store incident, in case I were to look them up and contact someone who doesn't know of their relationship. I'm not a social media user. I have them but don't use them. So I never got her FB or Insta. We communicated through text, Snapchat. This is a repost sub. I am not the oop. 2 of my friends are in just that kind of agreement. They are Earth, others beard and skirt. And they have a wonderful friendship. And to their respective religious group, they seem happy, but are infertile. They meet their family once every year, and plan to divorce soon, because they are far enough outside the grasp of JW now, that they can leave without losing too much. A wholesome affair story? I accept. Me reading the trigger warning. Oh no. Also me after reading everything. Oh yes. That threw me a curveball. Even though I knew a couple who lived as husband and wife for over 60 years with neither of them preferring their partner's gender. It's so unusual to see. They're usually very hush about it. That's a not so bad outcome to the situation. Phew. Geez. Now I feel awful for David. Edit. Not because of Oop and Gina. Because he could be killed for being gay. Wow. Never thought I'd see the day there was a wholesome affair story on Reddit, rolling on the floor laughing. Okay, handlight skin tone. That's great lol. Huh. Well, that is kind of funny and wholesome. I can understand not telling the AP the whole story from the start, because that could go very wrong. I have to be honest. Never knew what being in a weird relationship was till now. Sad as hell that people can't just live their happiest life. I've asked homophobes the same question for years and years, but never have I ever gotten an answer. How does someone loving someone else of the same sex affect your life in a negative way? Quote. Aw, David sounds like an awesome guy. Glad the OOP has some closure on the situation and a chance to move forward with the relationship. ////. Never thought that wholesome plus affair could be used together. Here's hoping OOP, David, and Gina have many happy years together. In their, respective roles. I understand this. It's weird, but it happens. My grandmother was in this situation. My grandfather didn't finally actually leave for a man until 25 years later, when it was socially safe enough to do so and they didn't have their own parents to worry about anymore. Man, this went way better than I was expecting. In my mid-20s, I was an unwitting AP 3 times in a row. My friends started introducing me to new people as Sancho. Gotta be careful with older women you pick up at bars. I love that OOP converted the very general, miles away, into the identically very general, kilometers away, tears of joy. Also, that's a very, very wholesome affair story and I'm happy it was shared. Extra points for OP posting TWS but no mood spoilers. The surprise made it feel even better. The one best one scenario. I mean, she could have been upfront about all of that from the beginning. But I suppose if the three of them are all on the same page moving forward, it could work out. I could tell her mind was on something miles, kilometers away. That's something I'd expect a bot to write, following a rule that all references to standard units must be followed by the metric unit equivalent, without regard to whether it matters to the reader. I was wondering the whole time where homophobia came into the story. That ending certainly explains it. Love the converting miles to kilometers. I feel like they was the best possible ending given the information you had going into the most recent update.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.